Ready? Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5:03 p.m. This time we will hear public comments specifically related to items on the closed session agenda, and we do not have any speakers. So then we can adjourn into closed session. At this time, the board will adjourn into closed session at 5:03 p.m.
Welcome and thank you for coming. The board has returned from closed session and is reconvening in open session at 6:05 p.m. Before we begin, please note that this meeting is being videotaped in accordance with bylaw 9324, minutes and recordings. The video recording is part of the public record and will be made available on the district's website to promote transparency and accessibility for our community. There was no action taken in closed session. It is recommended the governing board adopt the agenda as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. A second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion? No? Okay, I will call for the vote. Trustee Goldberg?
Aye.
Trustee Moran?
Aye.
Trustee Favela?
Aye.
I also vote aye, so the motion passes. The flag salute will be led by students from Potter Junior High School and Sports Program. Thank you.
Everybody, please stand up. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. It is recommended the governing board approve the minutes of May 14, 2026 regular board meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, I will call for the vote. Trustee Favela?
Aye.
Trustee Moran? Aye. Trustee Goldberg?
Aye.
I also vote aye. Motion passes. Next, we're going to community relations. Now we will be moving to the report from the board, starting with Trustee Goldberg.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Happy summer. I'm happy to report that I got to go to Potter Junior High's award ceremony, and that was a lot of fun to see all you up there shining. I also got to go to a bond program training by the San Diego County Taxpayers Association, all about our possibility of working as a community to pass this bond, to raise funds, to improve our schools, and there's some really exciting plans underway, but it's going to take our whole community coming together to make it happen. So there's a lot of responsibility involved in that and a lot of transparency, and we have a team that is dedicated to making all those pieces happen should we choose to move forward. So that training was really valuable, and we hope to have more news to share about that over the summer. And that's it. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I don't have much, but I would like to say thank you, each and every one of you, to interrupt your vacation. And I hope you have a safe and enjoy your summer, because next year is going to be another one. Okay, thank you for coming.
Trustee Favela?
Good evening, buenas tardes, Hanik Masanil, bienvenidos para mi escuela. So I had a chance to attend the Mayales 6th grade fun day, which was at the Boys and Girls Club. So my boys in 6th grade is going to be advancing to Potter Junior High. So Mayales parents, PTA put together a great day at the Boys and Girls Club. I know he had a blast. I know the kids had a blast, and the ice cream was the highlight. So I want to share my appreciation to the PTA and all the parents that volunteered. Many did come out. Also had a chance to attend the Potter Junior High 8th grade promotion. It's remarkable to hear all the testimonies from the students. Remarkable to see how much they've grown and developed and learned in these years. So it's always a great event to attend. So congratulations to all the students advancing in your grades, promoting, all the parents. This is a good time of year here, and here we're at summertime. So hope everyone's getting a good start to their summer. And I also know that the Super Summer Camp is coming up soon, and there's still some time, I heard, to enroll some students. So hopefully we will get an update. All right. Leave it at that.
Thank you. So since our last board meeting, I also had the opportunity to attend the the eighth grade promotion. For me, it was for at Mary Fay, Camp Pendleton, and as far as the bond program training with the Foundation District Roundtable, which was the Taxpayers Association, I had the pleasure of learning all about that, and it was quite a bit, and had the pleasure of joining Assistant Superintendent Ferris and Brian from facilities, and also Trustee Goldbeck. And so, and the last thing I want to talk about is the Ignite meeting. I got to attend. I had the pleasure of attending that again, only this time at Live Oak Elementary. And I just want to make sure that parents especially understand that this program is rarely offered at other schools. We have it. This is a very fantastic program for helping kids with their reading and advancing them, especially for children who are not at their grade level. And it's a very expensive program that we've invested, happily invested into. And just want to make sure that parents and families understand that this is something that is not given at every district. So please, it's something you should look into if your child, if you're new in the district, or you feel that, well, I didn't have the time to make sure that they got there in time. So I just opted out of that. It's not something you want to opt out of if it's offered. So just thank you very much. And now, Superintendent Hazel, would you please share your report?
Sure, I'd love to. It's always my highlight. As you know, my favorite place to be is at our schools and inside our classrooms. And it has been a busy May and June, and so much celebrating has happened all over the district. So I have a quick update for you today. And my first update starts with, a visit to May Ellis, and I observed this program called Teach Town. So I'm sure that you remember last year, the Board of Trustees voted to approve new curriculum for our most in need students in our moderate and extensive classrooms. And the curriculum hadn't been updated in a number of years. And so we adopted at the request of our classroom teachers. They researched, they came to us and requested these materials. We adopted this Teach Town curricular program. Our teachers spent the entire year going through training, testing things out, implementing the strategies with kids, and invited me to come and see it working in action. And so I had the opportunity at May Ellis to go to all of our mod extensive classrooms and see the materials in action. They're high quality. Kids were highly engaged, lots of differentiated small groups. So I just wanted to give you a little window into what I get to see every day, but our money being well spent and our teachers' time, really paying off with student achievement. And you'll notice that we're making some great strides with our students with disabilities. So my next update that I wanted to share with you is I was so honored. I had the opportunity. I was asked to serve as the keynote speaker for the North County Coastal Consortium for Special Education at their Excellence Awards. And I was so happy to be able to highlight the work that we're doing in Fallbrook with all of the North County coastal school districts and talk about inclusion and the importance of inclusion and supporting our students, ensuring that they have access to general education classrooms. And then we've seen fantastic data increases with our students. All students are thriving when we are ensuring that our students with disabilities are included in our general education classrooms. Next, I had the great opportunity with my North County Superintendent group. We went on a field trip. So A lot of times our kids get to go on field trips. I got to go on a field trip and it was pretty exciting. It was to Viasat, which is a satellite communications company. They have their headquarters in Carlsbad and they have over 7,000 employees worldwide. And they took us on a tour of their facility and we talked about what are employers looking for in graduates from our schools? And it's really important as superintendents that we gather together with industry partners so that we really understand, what are the skills that children need when they're going into the workforce here in San Diego. There's so many employment opportunities here in our own city, and we want to make sure that kids in our town in Fallbrook have those opportunities. So in addition to just the basic skills that the employers want of skills in math and skills in reading, they're also looking for graduates that have the ability to problem solve, that are flexible, that are focused on innovation, team collaboration, and leadership. So these are some of the, we had the industry leaders and partners come and talk to us and say, it's great that they know math, but can they work together on a team? It's great that they know math, but can they stand up in front of a room and explain to others what they know in a way that others understand? And how are you giving kids opportunities to do those things that are real world, that are going to make a difference when they head into industry? So it's important that we think about what we're preparing our kids for, and that we put our feet in industry to know what the companies are looking for. So that was a great opportunity. Next, we talked about it already, but promotion all over. We had San Onofre promotion, Mary Faye Pendleton, and Potter. And I just want to take a moment to recognize our brilliant 8th graders. Our children are just amazing and brilliant and resilient. And the ceremonies for our students were just beautiful. And they celebrated our students and our families and just all the incredible work happening in Fallbrook. I couldn't be more proud and humbled to serve this beautiful community. And I want to share, at every ceremony, students stood up and spoke to the community about their experience in our schools. And I have to share that our kids give us every reason to feel hopeful about the future. Our world needs these children, these beautiful voices and ideas right now. And I can't wait to see what they're going to become and how they're going to change our community and our world. And last but not least, I couldn't be more proud. From being, we've had an interesting go. Last year, that we actually were disinvited from the league that we were participating in Vista. And we returned to the league this year, and we returned with amazing sportsmanship, amazing athletes, amazing teamwork. And we brought home the trophy for the Lady Braves in 7th grade. They won the championship game against the Vista Magnet School. Oh, okay. Against the Vista Magnet School, 26-30. With amazing sportsmanship. And I want to give a giant thank you to Frank Tabarez, who's our athletic director, for running such a strong and positive program, and Coach Mike Laubert, who's in the room, for being such a positive example for our girls. So let's give them a big round of applause. I'd like to ask our Lady Braves to please stand up. Please stand up, turn around to the audience. Let's give them a round of applause. Trustees, I'm going to ask you to come on over. Let's take a picture.
don't move. Dr. G, is there a spot for that poster in your bib? Awesome. All right, good job, guys.
Dr. G, come over to the picture.
All right, one more time with the shoulders. One. Look at that.
Thank you again, parents, for sharing these amazing ladies with us. Just such fantastic sportsmanship, and you raised them right. We appreciate you.
Okay, at this time, we will hear public comments related to items on the open session agenda as well as non-agenda matters within the board's jurisdiction. Trustee Favela?
I don't see any public comment. No.
Then we'll move on to board operations. The board bylaws and board policies listed are presented to the governing board for first reading. It is recommended the governing board approve in the second reading the updated board policies as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. A second.
Second.
Any discussion? No, I will call for the vote. Trustee Favela?
Aye.
Trustee Moran?
Aye.
Trustee Gobet?
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes. We move on to education services. At this time, we are opening public hearing 2026-2027 Local Control and Accountability Plan, the LCAP. Update to solicit recommendations and comments of members of the public regarding specific actions and expenditures proposed to be included in the plan. We're open. Trustee Favela, do we have any speakers?
No, we do not.
Okay, so I am now closing the public hearing. Ms. Havga Busani, Assistant Superintendent, Education Services, will provide an overview of the 2026-2027 LCAP update and the 2026-2027 LCAP federal addendum.
Good evening, President McBride, esteemed trustees, Superintendent Hazel, and members of the Fallbrook community. It is an honor to stand before you this evening to present our first read of our 2026-2027 Local Control and Accountability Plan. I'm proud to share the progress we've made and the bold, equity-driven steps we're taking to ensure that every student in Fallbrook, regardless of background, is supported, empowered, and equipped to thrive. Joining me this evening are some of our incredible FUESD scholars. As we present this LCAP, it is important to remember that every page, every goal, and every action, and every investment in this plan is ultimately about them. At Fallbrook, our governing board is deeply committed to fostering a vibrant, inclusive, and healthy learning environment where every student can thrive. Our board goals are intentionally aligned with the priorities outlined in our LCAP, ensuring that our vision translates into meaningful action across all of our schools. This evening's LCAP overview will include our engagement process, our timeline, a budget overview, successes and needs, goal, reflection, refinements, federal addendum, and next steps moving forward. Our LCAP has been thoughtfully crafted to address the diverse strengths, needs, and aspirations of the students and families we are honored to serve. In Fallbrook, we serve 5,121 students from preschool all the way to 8th grade. And when we say every student matters, we mean that. We intentionally consider their needs as we've designed this plan. 6% of our students participate in our migrant education program. 22% are English language learners. 74% socioeconomically disadvantaged. 19% are students with disabilities. 30% come from military-connected families, and 9% have successfully reclassified as English proficient. This plan was developed to ensure their success. Their stories represent the thousands of students across our district who inspire our work each and every day and remind us why this plan matters.
Good evening, President McBride, members of the Board of Trustees, Superintendent Hazel, and everyone here. My name is Parker Lubert. I just finished 6th grade at Live Oak Elementary, and I am honored to help share the student perspective on the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District's Local Control and Accountability Plan. The LCAP is an important plan that helps guide how our district supports students and works toward improving outcomes for everyone. It outlines the goals, actions, and services that our schools will focus to help students succeed academically, feel connected and supported, and prepare for their future. The LCAP also helps ensure that district resources are being used to meet the students' needs.
Hi there, I'm Nevaeh Armenta from Fallbrook STEM Academy. Tonight, you will hear directly from InFU students as we share examples of programs, opportunities, and supports that have positively impacted our learning and school experience. We will also highlight some of the district goals and key measures of success. My fellow InFU's members will join in later to share more about the goals. Thank you, Ms. Bustani. Over to you.
Thank you, Parker and Nevaeh. Our LCAP goals are intentionally aligned with California's 8 state priorities, reflecting our deep commitment to supporting the whole child. These priority areas recognize that student success is influenced by a range of factors, both inside and outside of the classroom, including academic achievement, school climate, family engagement, and access to a broad course of study. Together, they guide our efforts to ensure every student in Fallbrook is successful and equipped with the skills they need to thrive. This visual clearly demonstrates that the LCAP is not a one-time plan, and that's what I really appreciate about our LCAP. It is a working document. It's a continuous cycle of reflection, refinement, and growth, all centered around improving outcomes for students. You'll notice that the arrow indicates where we currently are in the process. We developed the plan last year, implemented it with fidelity, reflected on our progress, and now we're entering the refinement phase to ensure greater impact. The LCAP begins with a budget overview for parents. This graphic illustrates the projected revenue by funding source, giving a high-level view of how our district resources are being allocated. As shown here, the larger circle represents the district's total operating budget, while the smaller circle zooms in on local control funding formula, LCFF revenue, specifically highlighting the portion that comes from supplemental and concentration funds. LCFF provides a base level of funding for all students, along with additional funding, known as supplemental and concentration grants, for students who need extra support, including our English language learners, foster youth, and low-income students, to ensure that every child gets what they need when they need it to be successful. The plan you reviewed is organized into distinct sections, including an overview, summary of progress, and educational partnership engagement efforts. This table provides a quick reference to help you navigate it with ease and clarity. We are proud to celebrate the progress during our LCAP implementation. We have much to celebrate here in Fallbrook. Along with the academic gains, we are seeing growth in ELA and math on the California dashboard and 2025 CASP. English language learner progress indicator improved from orange to yellow. ELA growth for homeless and low-income students improved. Math growth for homeless students is indicative here. Expanded use of local assessments to monitor progress and inform instruction. We don't rely on one time a year progress or 3 times a year. Our teachers are constantly assessing student needs in the classroom in real time. And you'll see later on in the year, I will provide an update regarding our CAS data, and you'll see the impact of monitoring student learning. We're seeing increased literacy engagement and strengthened instructional systems district-wide. Our data identified 2 priority areas for improvement: long-term English learners in ELA and students with disabilities in mathematics. To address these needs, we will continue to strengthen professional learning. We will continue with coaching. We will continue inclusive practices, and we will double down on targeted interventions to accelerate student achievement. Meaningful partnership engagement is essential to developing our LCAP and reflects the needs and the priorities of our community. Throughout the process, we've gathered input from parents, students, staff, community partners, and advisory groups through forums, meetings, surveys, and public feedback opportunities. We have listened to our community, and we have incorporated their feedback in this plan. Now we will turn our focus to the 25-26 LCAP goals. For each goal, there's a common structure. You will see metrics, how we measured progress, the analysis, what the data revealed, and actions, what we plan to do to achieve the goals. And now I'll hand it over to Ramiro.
Good evening. My name is Ramiro Swasta Savala, and I have recently completed 5th grade at La Paloma Elementary. I am excited to share information about Goal 1 of the Local Control and Accountability Plan, implementing relevant, coherent, and rigorous standards-based instructional programs to improve student learning and increase student achievement. I am proud of my own accomplishments this year and felt that I have benefited from my rigorous instruction provided by my teachers, Mr. Ostrowski and Ms. Cornforth. They challenge me to do my best every day and help me build confidence in my learning. I recently learned that I earned a level 4 on both the English Language Arts and Mathematics CASP assessments.
Congratulations, Ramiro. Super awesome. My name is Giovanni Vital. I attended Potter Junior High and I'm very proud. I'm very proud to share my results on the ELA and math test. Same as Ramiro, I earned 4s on both too. These results are important because they reflect the hard work, effort, and learning that took place throughout the year. They also show how high expectations, strong instruction, and student perseverance can lead to success. This goal is important to me because I believe all students can achieve this when they work hard and have great teachers who support them. Goal number 1 helps ensure that all students in FUESD have opportunities to learn, grow, and achieve at high levels just as I have experienced.
When I say the LCAP is about our students, this is what I mean. To monitor progress toward Goal 1, we use a broad range of state and local data measures to evaluate academic achievement, language development, access to instruction, and participation in specific programs. This data helps to ensure we are providing equitable, high quality instruction, and meeting the needs of every learner with a continued focus on student success across all content areas. Based on feedback from staff, educational partners, and data analysis, the following have been identified for the 26-27 school year. Highlights include continued focus on strengthening student engagement and participation through writing and oracy. Increased focus on English learner progress, including monitoring and professional learning centered on language development and instructional strategies for our English language learners. Progress monitoring focused on individual student growth, paired with resource alignment plans connected to data cycles. We're going to double down on these strategies because we know they're effective, and our community are telling us that it's making a difference. Enhancements moving forward include ensuring that we support our teachers with the implementation of a new high-quality mathematics curriculum, which you approved last board meeting. Expanded professional learning and support for our English language learners and long-term English language learners, and continued focus on using data to inform instruction and instructional decision-making. This slide highlights the collective actions and strategies we are committed to maintaining because they have demonstrated meaningful academic impact. We know what's working, and we will remain committed to implementing these research-based practices to support student growth and improve achievement. What are we going to continue focusing on? High-functioning PLCs. We've invested in that, and we're seeing the impact of teachers gathering, monitoring student needs by name and by need. Strengthening Tier 1 instruction. Every child in Fallbrook has access to strong Tier 1 instruction, standards-based, high expectations for every learner. We know that's working, and we'll continue with that. Strengthening data cycles. Teachers actually use data. They get down to the kid level. So students right here, you see every one of the teachers in Fallbrook monitor their learning. That's why they're able to stand here in front of you and tell you they've achieved 4, because their teachers track growth. Engaging, and we're not just about the academics. We are about enrichment and fun as well. Engaging enrichment opportunities through VAPA and STEM. While the teachers are monitoring student learning, guess what kids are doing? They're in VAPA, they're in the wheel, they're doing art, they're doing music, they're in STEAM. So teachers are supporting students, and students are engaged in awesome activities. Areas of improvement moving forward, as I mentioned, we have a new math adoption. So we're going to strengthen math instruction. You will see mathematics the focus of our learning next year and the focus of student learning next year. Professional learning for educators and administrators focused on mathematics, culturally relevant teaching practices, and structured literacy. We will continue to provide targeted professional development focused on language acquisition. Our data indicated we needed that, and we will continue with that. And I'm excited to share that we are going to be expanding choir and music opportunities to enrich student learning experiences. It's a new element in our LCAP that we're very excited about. I'll hand it over to Wendy.
Good evening. My name is Wendy Jose Lucas, and I am also a student from Potter Junior High. I am honored to introduce Goal 2 of the Local Control and Accountability Plan. Ensure and nurture a safe climate that promotes a social, emotional, and physical well-being of students, families, and our staff. This goal is important to me because I believe our students are able to show their true potential when they feel connected to school, have teachers, staff they can trust, and participate in activities that make them excited to come to school every day. I enjoy participating in Baile Folclórico and band. These activities help me build friendships, develop new skills, and feel more connected to my school community. When students feel safe, supported, and involved, it makes it easier to do their best both academic and personally.
Hello everyone, my name is Camila Guzman and I'm also a student at Potter Junior High. Sometimes life could be challenging, but I always have so much to look forward to at school. This year, I felt that the climate at Potter Junior High was more engaging and more focused. This year, not having cell phones during the school day helped reduce distractions and allow students to spend more time connecting with one another and paying attention in class. Goal 2 helps ensure that all students have opportunities to feel connected, supportive, and successful at school, and I'm grateful to have experienced that this year.
I don't know how to follow that. They're amazing speakers, and you speak with heart, and they capture the essence that Fallbrook really isn't just about goal 1 and the academics. We care about the social emotional well-being of our students. Climate, culture matter to us. So how do we monitor progress toward goal 2? Well, we use multiple measures, including suspension rates, chronic absenteeism. We look at district needs assessment. We listen to the voices of our parents and students. We constantly get feedback from our families and students. You matter, your voice matters. We look at data from our California Healthy Kids survey. We analyze the expulsion rate from the California Department of Education. We have a district wellness committee to ensure that our staff and our community are thriving and have wellness and are well balanced. And we also look at the daily average attendance rates, all important metrics connected to goal 2. In 25-26, we made strong progress in attendance and in attendance and student wellness. Chronic absenteeism decreased by 9.1%, reflecting the impact of our re-engagement efforts, while students in grades 6 through 8 reported strong levels of connectedness and supportive adult relationships. Our teachers, our staff care deeply about our students. Survey data also identified opportunities for growth in grades 3 to 5, including slight declines in supportive relationships and school connectedness among 5th grade students. We need to get underneath that data, unpack it with our school teams, and provide supports to our students. Actions. Our schools are exceptionally well-resourced to support our goals and our students. We will continue to strengthen our layered systems of support to ensure mental health, wellness, and student well-being. We're not making any changes this year to goal 2. As I said, we know it's working. Behavior specialists, social workers, counselors, MTSS systems, LVNs, our schools are staffed and equipped to ensure that children are thriving social, emotionally, not just academically. And all the actions on this slide is our commitment to children and ensuring their well-being. Vincent.
Good evening. My name is Vincent Matthews, and I'm a student at Mary Faye Pendleton. I am thrilled to share goal number 3 of the Local Control and Accountability Plan: enhance strong family and community relationships that promote engagement, collaboration, and authentic partnerships to increase student outcomes. At Mary Faye Pendleton, families have access to activities such as coffee with the principal and parent information meetings, which help parents to stay informed and connected. Our school social worker also provided support groups for students and parents dealing with deployment, which is especially important for many military-connected families in our community.
And hello, my name is Jackie Kopic, and I'm a student at La Paloma Elementary School. This school is important to me because when families, schools, and the community work together, students have more support to help them learn and succeed. This year, for example, my school worked on building a garden. It gave students a hands-on opportunity to learn in a really fun way. We learned about seeds, soil, sun, and water, how all those things work together to help plants grow. The La Paloma community worked together on this project, and thanks to that, the garden produced lots of delicious fruits and vegetables.
I'm in awe. They're so amazing. We measure progress on Goal 3 through multiple metrics, including family attendance at school events, participation in leadership opportunities, and feedback from parent surveys, as I mentioned. In 25-26, we strengthen family and community engagement through clear communication, expanded parent education opportunities, and increased volunteer partnerships. While attendance at input sessions improved, need assessment surveys participation slightly declined from the baseline year, with 36 LCAP input surveys submitted. These results highlight the need to continue to strengthen family voice and engagement opportunities across the district. We recognize this is an area of need, and we were proactive in ensuring we work with our site teams, our leaders, to increase engagement both at the site level and across the district. On this slide, you'll see the actions we're continuing to prioritize in support of strong family and community engagement, including expanding opportunities for parent leadership and participation, ensuring families have a meaningful voice in decision-making, maintaining a full-time bilingual community support assistant and clerks to maintain and support the homeschool connection, and providing regular and consistent communication in both English and in Spanish through multiple platforms and channels. And now I will hand it over to Ivan.
Greetings, my name is Ivan Cepeda and I am a student at Mayellis Elementary. I am sharing goal number 4 of the Local Control and Accountability Plan. Implement a highly specialized program that offers targeted interventions to improve pupil engagement and academic achievement at Santa Margarita Academy to reduce the risks of dropouts. This goal is important because every student deserves the support they need to be successful, regardless of the challenges they may face. Goal number 4 focuses on providing additional academic support, mentoring, counseling, and interventions that help students stay engaged in school and continue making progress towards their goals.
Good evening. My name is Corbin Westland, and when students receive the right support at the right time, they are more likely to attend school regularly, stay connected to their learning, and feel more confident in their ability to succeed. Programs like these help create a positive learning environment where students feel seen, valued, and encouraged to do their best. This goal helps ensure that students have access to resources and opportunities they need to overcome obstacles, build important skills, and stay on the path toward graduation and future success.
Beautiful. To monitor and report the impact of the funds designated for students at Santa Margarita Academy, we utilize metrics that reflect the unique and transitional nature of the student population. Key indicators include daily attendance, teacher and student perception data, pre- and post-student perception data, and of course our district local assessment data, including STAR 360 in math from program entry to exit. Highlights include students in the program reported a positive and supportive experience, especially enjoying our STEAM activities. Teachers observed stronger relationships with students and improved communication. 2 students successfully transitioned out of the program, and measurable growth was seen on STAR, math, and reading assessments. We've seen improvements in daily attendance and student re-engagement highlight the program's effectiveness in building a strong pathway back to school. Again, this is a temporary program designed to ensure that students are equipped with skills to re-enter. Moving forward, we will continue to strengthen transitions to support students returning to their home schools,
increase daily average attendance, and improve student re-engagement connectedness. If Santa Margarita Academy does not qualify for equity multiplier funds in 26-27, goal 4 will be eliminated from the LCAP. We will continue to invest in proven supports that promote student success. The actions on this slide delineated the supports we will be providing students in Santa Margarita Academy, including social emotional services, safe and inclusive learning environments, strong partnerships, and targeted support from classroom assistant and social workers. The federal addendum is an important component of the LCAP that outlines how Fallbrook meets the federal requirements of the Every Student Succeeds Act, the ESSA. As a recipient of Title I, Title II, Title III, and Title IV funds, we use these federal resources to provide supplemental supports and services beyond those funded from the LCAP. Later on this evening, you'll hear a budget overview from Assistant Superintendent Farias, who will also go deeper with the budget. So what's next? We will open a 2-week public comment period to gather final feedback from our educational partners and make necessary revisions to the draft plan. A QR code will be provided to ensure easy access to the LCAP document and review materials. The governing board is scheduled to take action on the approval of the LCAP annual update and budget on June 18th, 2026. Following board approval, the finalized LCAP will be submitted to the San Diego County Office of Education in accordance with state requirements and timelines. I will now hand it over to Kaya.
Good evening. I'm Kaya Samples, a rising 8th grader who attended Mary Faye Pendleton Elementary School. As you have learned, the local control and accountability plan is about much more than goals and data. It is about students. It is about providing us with the strong academics, safe and supportive schools, meaningful opportunities to connect with our families and communities, and the support needed for every student to succeed.
Good evening. I'm Antonia Thomas, a 7th grader from Mary Faye. On behalf of the students of Fallbrook Union Elementary School District, we would like to thank you for your commitment in supporting us and for listening to our voices this evening. We appreciate the opportunities you provide and look forward to learn, grow, and to succeed together. Thank you.
As we look ahead, we remain deeply grateful for the dedication and the collaboration that brought this plan to life. Aristotle once wrote that excellence is never an accident. It's always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent direction and skillful execution. This quote reflects the district's systemic commitment and your support as board trustees throughout the entire LCAP process. We thank you for your continued partnership in making sure that a promise is a reality for our students, and we always deliver on the promise of public education. Thank you. We'll open it up for questions.
Well, also, trustees, you're welcome to also ask questions if you'd like of the students. They did such a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much.
I just want to have a statement, and each and every one of you amaze me in how articulate you are in your speeches, in your words, in your calmness, and your courage. I'm mesmerized. I am so mesmerized. I love it. I love this. And it shows towards everybody who watches these meetings how awesome you guys are. So I just want to tell you, I appreciate you being here in your vacation time, but you just really awed me. So I just want you to know, and thank you.
So
I want to echo that. Thank you for being here today. Your voices help ground and bring this information to life. So I want to commend all of you for speaking and being here today. Just had a quick question about the Santa Margarita Academy. How many students were in their program this year? Do you know?
I can get that number for you. I don't have that offhand. It's typically under.
I know it fluctuates.
Yeah, it
but-
fluctuates.
okay.
So I don't have a hard number for that yet. But
Okay, no problem.
I will provide that information for you.
Thank you, Tim. Overall, great presentation. Thank you. Keeping us on track.
Thank you. I'd love to also give a quick thank you to the students, not only for tonight. I really appreciate you coming here and sharing your voices tonight, but more importantly, you all are leaders that we've depended on all year long to share your, to share your voice around what direction we need to improve in Fallbrook. We hear from you. You tell us. You're the VIPs here in our district, and you're not shy about telling us what you love about our district and what needs to improve. And I want to encourage you to continue using that voice, because Fallbrook needs that voice. And parents, thank you for sharing these amazing leaders with us. You've raised them right. They are fantastic examples of on behalf of Fallbrook. So we appreciate you bringing them here tonight as well. And I hope all of you continue in Infused next year as well as leaders. And for those of you heading off to the high school next year, to get involved at the high school and leadership there as well, because they need your voice too. Thank you. Yes, we do.
Okay. Just about the choir music opportunity. What do we get to look forward to next year?
Well, we are we've secured funding to have a choir and music at every one of our schools, so students can participate in singing and presentation that will build their language, that will increase their confidence, and will be providing performances to our families. So we heard from feedback that we wanted to increase more above and beyond the STEAM to provide music and singing and choral. So we acted on that feedback and we're making it happen. So we're happy to give you an update.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I also want to say I'm very proud of our students, and I'm very happy that we are able to provide this time for students to practice their public speaking, and you're doing a wonderful job. So congratulations and thank you for coming today.
We've got certificates for each of you. We're gonna ask you to, we will, Dr. Husing, if you could read the names, and then we will pass them out, and then let's take a group photo. Sound good? All right, let's do it.
All right. And I'm really proud of this team. I get to be your coach, and you get to help me learn about the student perspective. So thanks for participating this year. And Superintendent Hazel's right. I hope you will be able to participate next year if you apply. So keep your eye on your email and apply, because you have to be recommended by your principal as well. So with that, help me celebrate Parker Lupert. And Nevaeh Armenta. Ramiro Suastes Zavala. Mr. Giovanni Regalia. No stranger to this podium. She's been speaking here since 3rd grade. Wendy Jose Lucas. Miss Camila Guzman. Mr. Vincent Matthews. Brand new to our district this year is Jacqueline Kopic. Ivan Zepeda. Help me celebrate Corbin Westland. Miss Kai Samples. And you may recognize her from our district video, Antonia Thomas.
I didn't even see this. I didn't even see this in September.
Thank you. Thank you, Top Gov, for that presentation. And thank you, kids.
I know. We just did that.
Okay. We are pleased to support our teachers and staff to continue their professional learning, enabling them to perform their duties and remain up to date on new policies and procedures impacting their roles. At this time, we are opening public hearing 2026-2027 proposed budget to accept comments from members of the community. Trustee Favela, do we have any speakers?
No, we do not.
Okay, so then at this time, I am now closing the public hearing. Mr. Armando Farias, Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, will provide an overview of the 2026-2027 proposed budget.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, trustees, Superintendent Hazel, staff, and community. It is my honor to present to you the proposed budget for the 26-27 school year. Before I proceed, I want to welcome my friend and mentor, California State Board of Education member, Dr. Escobar. Absolutely. Welcome to the best district in California and soon in the nation. I really mean it. The budget I will present this evening has been developed based upon the most reliable information that we have up to date. The governor's budget may revise the School Service of California presentations, as well as district enrollment and projection and growth patterns. Multiple members of the FUESD team attended these sessions, which we believe is so very important. For example, FIDA members, leaders, CSEA members, and management. It is crucial that we all receive the same information and hopefully the same day, because sometimes it does get lost in transition. My presentation will briefly cover the economy and revenues, budget assumptions, the budget itself, and the next steps and the road ahead. As you're aware, school funding is deeply tied to the state of the economy in California. When the economy grows, revenues increase. But when the economy slows down or contracts, funding pressures rise and budgets become tight. Let me know if I'm going too slow. I just want to enjoy this. This graph represents what we call the big three sources of revenue for the state of California. We refer to the big three, we mean personal income tax, corporate tax, and sales and use tax. This slide breaks them down. Very important point. The May revision projects approximately 13.5 billion more in personal income tax revenue than the January budget assumptions. The key message from this slide is that California revenue outlook has improved primarily because personal income tax collections came in stronger than expected. One very important consideration to keep in mind, and I don't have exactly the right number, but it is stated that revenues are heavily dependent on personal income taxes from a relatively small number of high income taxpayers, between 12 and 15 families. And much of this revenue is tied to capital gains and the technology sector, which can create significant year-to-year fluctuations in state revenue. One last point on this slide is that although schools are receiving additional funding, educational organizations argue that the state is not fully allocating of Proposition 98 funding separate generated by the constitutional formula and continues to defer or withhold a portion of the funds. This slide highlights one of the most positive components of the governor's May revision for school districts. The May revision proposes a statutory of 2.87% COLA, cost of living adjustment, for local control funding formula. In addition to the statutory COLA, the governor is proposing an additional 1.44% LCFF, local control funding formula investment, bringing the total increase to approximately 4.3%. While this is positive news for school districts, it is important to remember that these funds help address rising costs every single year and do not necessarily translate into unrestricted new spending. In addition, some of this additional funding is tied to new expectations that may increase district costs. For example, paid pregnancy disability leave, which I will allude in a couple more slides. I will ask you to just focus on the first block, the SEPA, which is the Special Education Local Plan Area. This is one of the most significant special education investment the state has made in recent years. For districts like Fallbrook, which continue to contribute every single year general fund dollars to support special education services, this additional funding is a positive step towards helping address the growing cost of serving our students with disabilities. So we definitely welcome that amount of money. The May revision proposes a new state mandate requiring paid pregnancy disability leave for certificated and classified employees experiencing qualifying pregnancy-related medical conditions. Eligible employees could receive up to 14 weeks of full pay leave with the duration determined by the employee and the physician. This leave will be provided separate from and without reducing other accrued paid leave balances, increasing employer costs. But the state is providing additional LCFF, just as I alluded a minute ago, districts are concerned that new mandates such as this one may create ongoing costs that exceed the additional revenue provided. eventually over time. Budget assumptions. Now for you, Fallbrook Union School District, these are our budget assumptions. As you're aware, Proposition 98 is a constitutional amendment in California that was passed by voters in 1988 that guarantees a minimum level of funding for education. It requires approximately 40% of the state's general fund be spent on K through 14 education. Again, we're talking 40% of California's general fund, approximately. While all districts receive the LCFF local cultural funding formula base grant based on student attendance, Fallbrook Union Elementary School District receives additional funding because approximately 77% of our students are identified as English language learners, low income, or foster youth. The high unduplicated pupil count generates both supplemental and concentration grant funding, providing additional resources to support the academic, social, emotional, and educational needs of our students. As you were able to witness a few minutes ago with all those kids, Fallbrook Union Elementary School District is using its money where it matters, our students. Begin at grade 13. School district revenues fall into two main categories. Unrestricted revenue, funding that can be used for any lawful educational purposes based on district priorities and operational needs. And also, restricted revenue, funding that must be used for specific programs or purposes as required by the funding source. For example, special education, Title I, child nutrition, student transportation. These assumptions are based on School Service of California's financial planning factors and provide a consistent framework for estimating future revenues, expenditures, employer costs, and state funding levels. Revenue assumptions. Funded average daily attendance, or ADA, is based on the 25-26 P2 ADA. Although we currently have approximately 5,042 students enrolling in our district, we are not funding based on the enrollment number. We're funded based on the ADA. How many students are attending school every single day? Here's a breakdown of the local control funding formula revenue and the base grants that I just alluded a minute ago, supplemental grants, and concentration. Also, impact aid funding is estimated to be approximately $6.3 million next year. I believe that you remember that a couple of years ago, our projection was 4.5, but for multiple years, we received more than that. And in accordance and in the conversation with the union, we decided to up the impact aid, which still, I believe, is conservative. Revenue assumptions is a continuation of the last slide. Home to school transportation reimbursement is estimated to be approximately $865,000. It is important to mention that this is new funding that started in the 22-23 school year. We welcome the $865,000, but the total cost of transporting our kids, over 1,700 kids every single day, twice a day, is approximately $3.2 million. Very important to keep in mind. And a block grant funding is estimated to be about approximately $40 per ADA, meaning student showing up to school. lottery funding, the breakdown, local revenue from surplus sales, facilities. Another, and I just mentioned that one of the most significant revenue assumptions in this budget is the estimated additional funding in special ed, which is approximately $1.8 million. Although you can see that student support and professional development discretionary block grant and learning recovery emergency block grant are here, we know that we're going to receive additional funding. Having said that, we're taking a more conservative approach because the governor is still negotiating these amounts, and we're not certain how much we will receive. I will provide you with an update, possibly when I get it, or by the first interim report. Expenditure assumptions, as you know, certificate of salaries include step-on column every single year, sick leave, which costs substitute teachers, transitional kinder, the ratios, class sizes. We usually reserve in the budget at the beginning of the school year approximately 4 FTEs for certificated. In case we have an increase in enrollment, we can add one of those positions. Classified salaries include step-on column, sick leave, and minimum wage of $17.40. This slide summarizes the district's employee benefit assumptions for the 26-27 budget, including statutory costs and competitive benefit package with health, dental, vision, life, and retiree benefits. And now the budget. How much is the budget going to cost FUESD for our projection for the 26-27 school year? We're estimating that it'll cost approximately $111.6 million. It's important to keep in mind that last year we negotiated with our union partners and we provided 2% for this year that just ended and a 2% for this new school year. There's a breakdown of the LCFF sources, revenue, state revenue, local revenue, transfer ins, contributions. You might ask, why are contributions in parentheses? This is the money that we transfer from the general fund into the special to be able to support our students with special needs. Again, certificate salaries, classified salaries, employee benefits, supplies, services, and total expenditures to the tune of about $69 million. If I go back one, we have total, If I go back one, we have total revenues of 68.3, and we have total expenditures of 69.3. Very easy math. Approximately $1 million in deficit when it comes to the unrestricted side of the house. It's unrestricted, again, beginning fund balance on 7/1/2026 is approximately $18 million. Total revenues, $68 million. Total expenditures, because money going away, is in parentheses, $69.3 million. The ending fund balance for the unrestricted side of the house is approximately $70 million. Restricted money, as I alluded a minute ago, is for special programs, and we have strings attached to this. Total revenue is approximately $40 million. And the total expenditure is approximately $42 million. Again, a deficit of about $2 million, and between the two, about 3. Balancing the budget, beginning fund balance. This is the restricted side of the house. Beginning fund balance as of 7/1/26 will be approximately 11.6. Total revenues, approximately $40 million. Total expenditures, about $42 million. Ending fund balance, about $9.5 million. Ending fund balance from the 25-26 school year is the beginning fund balance for the 26-27. And we reduce it by the deficit spending of $3 million. Beginning fund balance on 7/1/26 will be approximately $29.7 million. Total revenues, $108 million. Total expenditures, about $111. Restricted ending fund balance is approximately 9.5. Unrestricted ending fund balance on projection for June 30th of 2027 is approximately $17 million. I was going to say 27. Wishful thinking. Minimum reserve for a district our size is is 3%. But as I have stated in the past, 3% of our budget will take us probably a week and a half max. Right, Dr. Escobar? So it's not a lot. Okay? And the maximum reserve for our district is 10%. So I'm sure the board has a question. How can we have 16.43 if the max is 10%? Although our reserve is projected at 16.43%, monies are already earmarked for specific programs and projects that will be presented to you at the June 18th board meeting. The road ahead and next steps. I'm feeling so relaxed now. Our job is to continuously monitor the economy, ensuring that we look at resources around the county so we can definitely provide the conditions to ensure that our kids and our staff is well taken care of. The impact of tariffs. Nobody knows what's going to happen with world conflicts, Ukraine, Russia, Iran, unemployment in California. I can assure you this district is working really, really hard when it comes to ADA, ensuring that our kids are in school on chairs every single day. I really, really believe that although some districts are experiencing declining enrollment in California, many districts, if we work really, really hard to ensure that the kids that we have are in school every day, we can offset some of those losses. This is the road ahead. This is our next steps. The governor adopts the LCAP and budget. Deadline for the governor to sign the budget. Revise FUESD budget base on state's enacted budget and close the books for the 25-26. And I will be here before you in September to ensure that I present to you the United Actions. Closing the books and really getting a final numbers to you of the 25-26 expenditures, revenues, and any fund balances. And with that, I thank you. And again, I appreciate everything that you do for every single one of our kids, our staff, and we feel blessed to be a part of this. Any questions?
Thank you.
So with our restricted fund balance at 9.5 million, we don't count that towards reserves because it's already earmarked towards our restricted programs. Is that right?
Because it is restricted, it has attachments, and we don't count that.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so sorry.
I was just waiting to see if anyone else had any discussion, questions.
President McBride?
Yes. So on the Prop 98 funding, that right now the governor's still talking about withholding.
Yes.
I understand, or I've heard, that he also held the last 2 years, 2 or 3 billion each year. Has that been paid back to education? Back?
I believe that there are still advocates advocating for that, some of that funding. It is my understanding that it has not fully been paid, but at this point in time, that is what they used to call the maneuver that he was trying to create, right? And in this case, I'm more aware of the 5-point-something billion that he has not released or yet.
So with that, is there any law put in place? We do know it was the constitutional, so it was against the Constitution of California to
Correct.
touch it, but it's been touched 3 times now.
Yes.
Is there any stricter law that says it must be paid within a certain time? And if so, what is that time limit?
I can definitely get that information for you, but as of right now, I believe that this is why it's so very, very important to continue advocating for what our students deserve. And not only deserve, but are entitled to, based on the amendment to the California Constitution.
Would you recommend that as a board, we write letters to get involved? Is that something, or is that more like the CSBA only?
I think that it's a team's effort, and I believe that as elected officials, you have the weight to really advocate for what our students are entitled to.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
Thank you very much for your report. Okay, with that, we're moving on to human resources. Action is probationary to tenure status. It is recommended the governing board approve the listed certificated employees completing their 2nd consecutive year of employment in a probationary position requiring certificated for re-election. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Congratulations to our teachers.
Okay, with that, I will call for a vote. Trustee Favela?
Aye.
Trustee Moran? Aye. Trustee Goldberg?
Aye.
I also vote aye. That motion passes. Next, we are moving to consent agenda. It is recommended the governing board approve the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Thank you. Second? Second. Any discussion? Okay, I will call for the vote. Trustee Goldberg?
Aye.
Trustee Moran? Aye. Trustee Favela?
Aye.
And I also vote aye. With that, motion passes. And that takes us to the meeting. This meeting is adjourned at 7:30.